Hello, Professor, and my fellow students. Today, I would like to talk to you guys about the big issue of domestic violence that's going on around the world today. As we all know, domestic abuse is everywhere, from corporate America all the way down to the single family home. It's here. People are doing it every day. This is an issue that must be addressed and stopped. Many men, women, and children are getting abused for different reasons. Whatever the reason may be, it doesn't require physical or mental abuse to resolve that reason or issue. So I ask, what is domestic abuse? Domestic abuse can be defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Abuse is physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or psychological actions or threats of actions that influences another person. This includes any behavior that frightens, intimidates, terrorizes, manipulates, hurt, humiliate, blame, injure, or wound that person. Domestic violence can happen to anyone of any race, age, sexual orientation, religion, or gender. It can happen to couples who are married, that's living together, or who are dating. Domestic violence or abuse affects people of all economic backgrounds and education levels. Studies have shown that 1 in 4 women, 25% of them actually, has experienced domestic violence. Estimates ranges from 960,000 incidents of violence against a current or former spouse, boyfriend, or girlfriend to 3 million women who are physically abused by their husbands or boyfriends per year. Women accounted for 85% of the victims of intimate partner violences, men for approximately 15%. Between 600,000 and 6 million women are victims of domestic violence each year, and between 100,000 and 6 million men, depending on the type of survey used to obtain the data. Women ages 20 to 24 are at the greatest risk of non-fatal intimate partner violence. Also, study shows between 1993 and 2004, intimate partner violence on an average made up 22% of non-fatal intimate partner victimizations against women. The same year, intimate partner committed 3% of all violent crimes against men. nearly 3 out of 4, 74% of Americans personally know someone who is or has been a victim of domestic violence. And last, on an average between 1993 and 2004, children under age 12 were resident of households experiencing intimate partner violence in 43% of incidents involving female victims and 25% of incidents involving male victims. So, the question has been raised that should there be tougher enforcement laws to protect victims of domestic abuse? In my opinion, I would say yes, because we're all human beings, and no one should be abused for any reason. Mainly children. I don't like it at all when children get beat. That's not right. God put children here, and I don't understand why folks can harm. Children are supposed to be our future. But if you're beating, murdering, abusing, you can't be our future. You're not going to be here. Speaking of that, studies show that the face of the abuse, the children. For every hour, as many as 115 children were abused. 90% of that were children from violent homes who witnessed their fathers beating their mothers. 63% of all boys ages 11 to 20 who committed murder killed the man who was abusing their mother. Children in homes where violence occurs are physically abused or neglected at a rate 1,500% higher than the national average. So the question goes back to, should there be tougher laws against domestic violence? In 1994, Congress enacted the Full Faith and Credit provisions of the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA 18 USC 2265-66. The federal law directs jurisdiction to give full faith and credit to valid orders of protection issued by other jurisdictions. This includes all 50 states, Indian tribal lands, the District of Columbia, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, American Samoa, the Northern Mariana Islands, and Guam. The full faith and credit provisions were amended in October 2000. So, what does this mean for the victims? Abused persons who are granted court orders of protection can call upon the law enforcement to protect them and to take all appropriate actions against the abuser nationwide. So what does this mean for the abusers? The abusers is bound by the terms and conditions of the order of protection and may be arrested and charged with violating the order and committing other substantive crimes whenever the abuser violates or a valid order. It does not make any difference where the order was granted. The abuser must be arrested for a violation of an order of protection if the law of the jurisdiction where the violation occurred requires an arrest. So you say, what does this mean for law enforcement? If an order of protection is valid in the issuing jurisdiction, it must be enforced in every other jurisdiction whether or not it is registered. Some jurisdiction grantors grant orders to the victim who might not be eligible for orders in the enforcing jurisdiction for periods of time longer than authorized in the enforcing jurisdiction. A responding officer must enforce the term and condition of a valid order as written, including custody provisions and firearm prohibitions. Officers are not required to know the law of an issuing jurisdiction in order to enforce orders of protection. So, in conclusion, do I think that there should be tougher laws on domestic violence? Yes, I do. This is a problem that no one should have to suffer from or experience. We as humans must love one another and not abuse one another. If someone don't want to be with someone else because of a problem or a situation, and they refuse to try to work that problem or situation out, then just leave. Move on. Why stay and try to stay and hurt somebody else because of an issue that you can't deal with or you don't want to deal with? Seek help. If that's not the case, then just leave. Stop hurting people. Thank you and have a good day.